Previous ones, welcome back to the channel for some more Ultra Pro Wrestling. Now, if you're not familiar, I'm sure you probably are by now, but Sam himself was down in good old Cologne, Germany, visiting with publishers, walking the floor, and said, be sure to say hi if you happen to be there. And they were showing off Ultra Pro Wrestling to many publishers. So we heard it went truly fantastic, productive time, and meeting with all the partners and publishers in Cologne, Germany. That was on August 31st, and a week later, we still really haven't heard anything, any updates other than they've got some sales, some Labor Day sales on the Pro Wrestling Tees website for their merch. But otherwise, we haven't really heard anything, and we didn't get really any gameplay or anything. I thought we were going to get more out of the whole visit down in Cologne, Germany, but it was a productive meeting with the team, and there's perhaps a silver lining in this, and I will point you over to this post right here from Acclaim that says 3 days left. Get ready to witness a new chapter for Acclaim. Play Acclaim Indie Dev Showcase Indie Games. 3 days away, we are getting a showcase, and perhaps, just maybe, one of those things being showcased is our very own Ultra Pro Wrestling. Speculation at this point, I know, but why would the only thing we get out of this big meeting they have down there, when they're showing off a demo of the game that they have for publishers, all we got was one little moonsault from HFG Man to AKI Man? Why is that? Why is that little snippet the only thing that got leaked, the only thing we're seeing? Well, perhaps they found a publisher. Now, I'm not saying it's a claim, but perhaps they did find a publisher. We don't know yet. But if that's the case, maybe a publisher might have a big upcoming announcement as in regards to indie games. So we have 3 days to go to find out. Now, how massive would it be if we got our big gameplay reveal trailer at an Acclaim showcase? Acclaim being your retro home publisher for games like WWF Raw, the original Raw on SNES and Sega Genesis. All the classic games, Attitude and Warzone, not my favorite games, of course, for the PlayStation or the N64. But Acclaim had the license for wrestling games in WWF. Games like what was the WrestleMania arcade game. A lot of those games, I believe Acclaim published them all. I know Midway developed that one, I believe, but I believe it was Acclaim that published that one. I know they published a lot of the old wrestling games for the Sega and for the SNES. So this would be a fitting way for Acclaim to come back, coming back to wrestling games with Ultra Pro Wrestling, the AKI name. Obviously, a lot of people were speculating that it was going to be THQ Nordic, which it very well possibly could be. And as well as on the THQ Nordic front, there's still a lot of things going on in the mod scene for AEW Fight Forever. If you're not familiar, as you can see right here, look at this beautiful New Japan, cut that sound down, but look at the beautiful New Japan ring here. You've got a nice Hayabusa here, Will Ospreay. So the people over in the modding scene for Fight Forever, which I will touch on in another video here, are really keeping this game alive. As you can see, a Konosuke Takeshita here, and Zack Sabre Jr. People are modding belts into the game. You got the ROH title right here. Just cool stuff like that. Again, we'll touch that on in another video. But how cool would it be for our boys at Ultra Pro Wrestling to have teamed up with the boys over at Acclaim? Again, Attitude and Warzone were not my favorite wrestling games in the world, and maybe they were yours, but they did have the WWF license for a very long time, and it would be very fitting for a classic like Acclaim coming back to partner with a big wrestling title. And Ultra Pro Wrestling, I think, is obviously the biggest title in indie non-WWF wrestling games at the current moment. So this will be big. So we have 3 days to wait to really find out. I'm interested to see myself, but I want to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments down below. Would you be excited to see Acclaim join up with the folks over at Ultra Pro Wrestling? And one other thing I did want to show you here is if we check on this little link here from Play Acclaim transmission received, a new era is coming. I don't want to get copyrighted for the music just in case. But as you're going to see here from a lot of the classic Acclaim titles, as you're going to see on screen, something you're going to notice here. What was I talking about? WrestleMania, the arcade game, right here. Where does the text come over? Right? What game right here? We got Evolution. We paved the way. Now we build the future. Look what it's going over again. Is this just a coincidence or is this on purpose? They paved the way, now they build the future. Imagine Acclaim and Hyper Focus Games, AKI, going over that. A new era is coming. Acclaim is coming. So how neat would it be? Like out of all the games they have in the past, if we look here, it happens to be right over the wrestling, right here. Right here, we paved the way. Now we build the future. It only makes sense. Does it not? Does it not? So, I don't know. I could be reading too much in the tea leaves here. Let me know what you guys think. I really, myself, I'm just hoping they found the right publisher to give them the right deal that works to help get this game to where it needs to be, to get it in our hands, to give us all the features, the feature-rich wrestling game, our forever wrestling game that we're hoping for Ultra Pro Wrestling to be. But we don't have long to wait as the 10th is coming up very, very shortly. 3 days away, 2 days away likely by the time you're seeing this video. So we're not going to have to wait long, but it is interesting that we have not heard anything else outside from Ultra Pro Wrestling other than it was a productive time meeting with partners and publishers in Cologne. And now all of a sudden we've got this indie dev showcase that they're kind of showing off their old history with wrestling games. I thought it interesting that it's literally over WrestleMania, the arcade game. We paved the way, now we build the future. And then you play that, and then right over top of that, you get the Aki logo, you get the Hyper Focus Games logo, and you go into an Ultra Pro Wrestling trailer. I don't know, guys. What do you think? I'm really hoping for something we're going to see in a couple of days here, but let me know in the comments down below. Do you think they got Acclaim? Do you think Acclaim's going to be their publisher? Do you think it's going to be THQ Nordic? Do you think they even found a publisher? They didn't say flat out that they found one or not. They said talks went well. They did not say they secured a publisher. So we don't know, but I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Dubious ones, thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, I appreciate y'all. And sound off in those comments down below. Talk soon. Deuces.
Make way for me.